Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Silent Hill 3 commentary. Today we're going to... Well, today things are about to get a little bit more interesting. I'd say more so towards the end of the video, but we are finally out of those stinky sewers and the underpass, which I think the area is officially called, and now we make our way through the construction site and the Hilltop Center. What the fuck is a Hilltop Center, actually? I guess I'll probably get to it a little bit later, since you probably get a better idea of it then, but... I don't know, it's always confused me. American terminology, what with the yee-haws and cowboy hats. Not really too much interesting about the construction site area, although I will say that this is probably one of my favourite areas in the game because of the variety that you can see here. I mean, in Silent Hill it is generally all, like, pretty grey-toned, but there is a bunch of different environments that you can go through. Yeah, excuse me. I mean, it's not quite to the same degree as, like, a platformer video game or anything of the sort, but... you know, it's a nice bit of variation within, you know, your typical urban setting. And I feel that in Silent Hill 3's case, despite, you know, the linearity of it losing out on some of those esoteric elements, as I mentioned before, I think it does still make up for that with a bunch of interesting environments to play with. As you can see here, the construction site, it's a toilet. Yeah. Having gone through many display homes, you shouldn't be surprised. Oh, by the way, interesting fact actually, I believe if you stay in that bathroom you can actually hear footsteps, which is... interesting. I don't know, Silent Hill has always had a weird fascination with bathrooms, and I'm always expecting a scare inside one of them. I don't know. Oh, by the way, interesting trivia for this place actually. Go towards one of the walls somewhere around here, and you can actually find a cameo of Solid Snake hiding within the walls, because that's how you get the silencer in this game. Well, it's a reference in 2, actually, and something that Heather actually points out. She says that it's a reference to The Black Cat, which is a poem... it's either a story or a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. But I seem to recall, I think it might have been a strategy guide, actually, that pointed out that that was actually meant to be Solid Snake, so... and I mean, considering the fact that I think... and again, I'm basing this entirely off memory, and it's been a little while since I played the game, actually, so I might be wrong on this. But, I do believe in Metal Gear Solid 3, which was being developed around about the same time as this game was. I seem to recall that, I think it was around, nearby the Sorrows area, you can actually look off onto a distant, area using the binoculars, and Jesus Christ. And you can actually see James Sunderland, like, right across the side of there. I think, though, again, I haven't played the game in a long time, so I might be misremembering that, but... that is actually a very cool reference, and proof that Kojima was involved in Silent Hill. Well, actually, yeah, I think he was involved in Metal Gear Solid 3 by that point, because he returned for that one because he intended to leave off after Metal Gear Solid 2. But in any case, we've escaped the construction site, and now we're in the Hilltop Center. It occurs to me that I probably should have thought up some trivia, actually. For the, fuck, I forgot what they were called again. Pendulums? Or is that the Silent Hill Homecoming monster? I think it might be the pendulums. Anyway, it's either the... no, I'm thinking of the scrapers, actually. Silly me. Anyway, no time to talk about that. Mannequins. This is nostalgic. Silent Hill 2 reference, obviously. No head. And what is this? It's a mannequin with only a head. This is actually a really cool little bit of, fridge horror, actually, now that I think about it. Because, you know, you examine that. Oh, just a mannequin with a head. Nothing out of the ordinary. Then, of course, you walk right over here, outside of the Silent Hill 2 reference. What is this? You hear a scream? Yes, Heather, we've gotten the Silent Hill 2 reference. Now, please, return so we may investigate the source of the scream. And yeah, blood. Oh, I love this. I don't know, I really love scares like that. Like, I mean, it's not exactly a... it's not even exactly a jump scare, it's just something that makes you go, what the hell? You investigate it, and then... just weirdness happens, and it just gets under your skin. Which I feel is what Silent Hill really excelled at. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people like to toss around the label of, oh, scariest game ever, 10 out of 10. In regards to the Silent Hill series, but for me, Silent Hill was never really a game that was meant to be, you know, the shit-your-pants sort of scary. Like, I mean, you have plenty of other games that do that already, like, you know, the first-person jump-scare simulator games that you have today. But Silent Hill, I feel, usually was at its best when it got under your skin, and it's something which I feel Silent Hill 1 achieved the best out of every other game in the series, with, 2 and 3 having, some pretty decent emotional moments here and there. Silent Hill 4, I think Silent Hill 4 actually achieved a similar effect, not quite to the same extent as the first game, but, it succeeded pretty well. Hope to God that didn't fuck up the microphone quality. Anyway, we are now at an art gallery. Symbolism galore, as it is the case with all art galleries, because artists are bizarre, scary people. Flame purifies all. More hints towards Heather's true identity. I gotta stop foreshadowing, that's... You see, it's comments like that which really makes me love Heather's character so much. Like, I mean, Harry or James never would have been this expressive, but Heather is just... I don't know, it just amazes me that Heather was able to get so much personality out of just, her thoughts and text dialogue like that. I don't know, it's just the sort of writing that I find so much more natural than pretty much most other video games, both of the time and even today that did this sort of thing, Like, I mean, and it's not even done in the sort of tee-hee, look at how jokey we're being. It's worked naturally within the character's teenage mindset. Katana. This was actually one of the secret weapons in Silent Hill 1, but Heather just happens to find it in an art gallery. I'd actually have to, well, actually I suppose it makes sense, but like, I don't know, you just don't see katanas that often. Speaking of which, though, the katana is actually a pretty useful melee weapon. Like, I mean, I know I always go for the trusty old steel pipe because it's my favourite weapon in the game, but I gotta admit, the katana is actually pretty fantastic. Like, I mean, you can do a lot of damage with it, and, like, I mean, even in real life, I mean, if you've seen what a well-sharpened katana can do, fuck me, that thing can cut through steel like butter. Jesus. Goddamn numb bodies. And you see, environments like this, like, I mean, you see a nice office, you get a bunch of... You just see a bunch of different stuff, which you never really got in Silent Hill 1 and 2. Whether it be for the fact that everything was just blocked off, but I just love the varied amount of things you can see with the most mundane stuff. Like, I mean, even going into this auto repair shop with a bunch of computers and offices and everything, it's interesting, man. I suppose I should probably go back to my original question as well, just to pad out the runtime. What the hell is a Hilltop Center? Like, I mean, from the impression that I get in Silent Hill 3, it gives me the impression that it's like a multiplex of, like, a bunch of different facilities for offices and such. I don't know, maybe it's a thing more for sprawling metropolises all over the world, but I don't know, it's just weird. The Hilltop... Like, again, maybe this is just because I'm Australian, but I hear Hilltop and my immediate thoughts are to the hip-hop group Hilltop Hoods, which, I'm pretty sure this isn't their hangout where they rap some hip-hop with Pyramid Head on the wiki wah wah turntables. I don't know. Actually, speaking of which, though, I actually did see some pretty cool Silent Hill fan art with, like a rave party, like with Heather just dancing around and, like, I think it was Vartiel on, like, turntables. I can't remember, I think I might show it if I have it somewhere, but that's one of my favourite bits of fan art. It was really cool and really ambient looking. Anyway, what is this? My computer is lagging. Hopefully it doesn't. There we go, the map of the Hilltop Center. Wicka wicka wah. And of course, I think it's around this point, actually. Oh no, hang on. I think we're gonna get an item, then we're gonna go save. But I think it is... It's either around this point or shortly after Heather returns home that she stops questioning the Halo with the Sun, which has been something of a running theme up until this point. There we go, we use our screwdriver, although personally it could have afforded to have been a little bit more sonic. I'm just saying random stuff, I don't really have a lot of commentary tangents. Like, I mean, the most I really had to say about the construction site is the Solid Snake cameo, but really, outside of questioning the Hilltop Center, there really isn't that much to say. But I mean, that's why I'm usually dividing these up into little bite-sized chunks, because, in the fact that there isn't really much to say, they're quick episodes and I can get them out decently fast. And I swear to you that next time will probably be a much beefier part, because, gotta have extra parts here. And also because there's a lot more story content going on. I mean, we do have a cutscene coming up towards the end of the video, and actually pretty soon as well, but, it's just one of those things, really. I mean, navigating the Hilltop Center isn't actually a very complex procedure. Like, I mean, there are some rooms which I guess you could call monster closets, like where you can find the insane cancer or some numb bodies hanging around, but other than that though, like, I mean, you should generally have a decent idea of where to go. Which is where I think Silent Hill 3's linearity really helps in that aspect. Like, I mean, you see the elevator, this is where you need to go. You find a bunch of different parts throughout the auto repair shop and, you know, all different places around the Hilltop Center, and bada bing, you do the thing and you're good to go. Yes, it was totally necessary for me to have a bit of silence there because I found my coffee very, very cold and it was very yucky and it made me very sad. Which probably means I should probably just stick to drinking Pepsi whenever I record these, but you know what, whatever. I have to continue on for the Silent Hill fandom thing, whatever. But anyway, we're coming close to the end of our journey throughout the Hilltop Center. Just need to take a trip and see some more housing developments, because that's what Silent Hill is all about. Housing developments and decoration and property and all that sort of stuff. Well, no it isn't really. But I like to think it is. Catalogs scattered around the reception. There isn't really too much to say around here, though we do have a cutscene coming up, and let's just say, outside of the useless beef jerky, things are about to get turned on their head very, very quickly. Ooh, a bathtub. Maybe Heather can have a lovely bath. It would be very lovely, indeed. Although, given what's about to happen, don't really think you'd want to have a bath in Silent Hill. Want to know the reason why? Well, you're about to find out in just a few seconds. Enjoy the cutscene, kids.
I knew it.
It's being invaded by the Otherworld, by a world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life.
Okay, I know I said that I wouldn't talk over cutscenes, but can I just say I really love that Otherworld transition? I don't know, I just think it looked really, really cool compared to some of the later Silent Hill games. Anyway, enjoy the cutscene.
Oh no, not again. Did she do this too?
Yep. Here we go. We're back in Silent Hill's Otherworld again. Well, we're not even in Silent Hill, but that's beside the point. Next time on Silent Hill 3 commentary, we are gonna get into some shit. But before we leave off, I want to show off these two things off. Creepy imagery number 1, and of course, one of the coolest images I think in the game that's coming up right here. It looks fucking amazing, and that will be the thumbnail of this video. Anyway, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and I'll see you next time for the Silent Hill 3 commentary. Bye-bye.
I don't always recognize me.